Hello, everyone. I'm Claire Rumor, and I'm here with Rhianne Vanderlyn, and we're co-directors and senior faculty at the Shakti Shiva Academy. And we're really excited about a course we have starting May 1st, and we wanted to share a bit with you about our thoughts and feelings about the course, what the course is about, and yeah, just have a conversation so that you can get to know us as course facilitators for awakening your feminine sexual essence. And so, Rhianne, I wanted to ask you to share with us. There are 3 questions that were always really important to Shakti, and those questions come through this course. And so, please take us through them.
Yeah, well, there were 3 key questions that I recall Shakti repeating over and over and over again. And the first one was, what do you really, 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 really want? It's a really important question to be asking ourselves as women waking up on the planet right now. I feel like woman has a lot of power that she's actually unaware of, and that when we become really clear about what it is that we want, and our feminine gets really clear based on the movement of her heart, she can then give really clear instruction to her own masculine. And most of the women, that are interested in this work have a really highly developed masculine, a lot of accomplishment in the world, and yet they've arrived at a place where they're asking, what more? What else is there? Who am I? What's the purpose of my life? And so that's one question that we really go deeply into. What is it that we desire? And I know that you both of us have spent a lot of time pondering this question for ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And both of us do have that highly developed masculine energy and skill. And I, for one, have for a long time. That's partly what drew me to Shakti Milan's work. And in doing this work, getting more in touch with the feminine essence and the feminine energies in myself and in the collective and the cosmos, coming into more balance to be able to answer this question of what do I really, 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 really want. And so, yeah, in the face of desire, it's such a deep inquiry. And in the face of being able to open to desire, we also open to bliss. And so I imagine that's our second question that Shakti would always ask.
Yeah, Shakti spoke about bliss a lot. And one of the things she would say is, how much bliss are you willing for? How much bliss can you stand? And it's a really important principle of the feminine. Perhaps the primary principle of the feminine is receptivity. And most of the women that I've spoken to in my 15 years of doing this work, they often don't have much of a direct experience of the felt sense of themselves, of their own visceral sensation from deep inside, from an embodied place. And so a lot of the work that we'll be doing on this course is really around discovering what it means to be embodied, to be receptive, and what connectivity and relatedness mean when we're no longer in that linear, one-pointed focus of efficiency, and dropping back into the receptivity of the deep feminine. It's a really beautiful piece for us as women in our round feminine bodies, and to discover our sexuality as she moves from that place, as opposed to the linear masculine performance style of sexuality that so many of us have inherited and learned from our culture.
Our conditioning, and not to exclude that masculine directness and forwardness. We need all of it. yet in this course, we're really exercising the muscle that's sadly the weaker muscle, the less developed muscle, which is that muscle of the feminine, or that knowledge and knowing of the feminine. And it was always interesting when Shakti, and for those who didn't know Shakti Milan, she was the founder of the Shakti Shiva Academy. She would ask this question, how much bliss can you stand? And that would always confront me, because I had never considered bliss as being overwhelming. I always think of stress as being overwhelming, or fear or anger being overwhelming, sadness, grief, but never bliss. But actually, when we cross over to that side of opening to desire, of having this deeper energy, these deeper felt senses come online, that bliss can be incredible, and it can be immense. So it's important that we're learning how to open to it and allow more. How much can we stand? How do we increase our capacity? I'm excited that's part of the course.
It's a beautiful opening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Beautiful opening, and that continually increasing our capacity for experiencing more, for more sensation in the body, whilst remaining in the witness and not identified with the movements of life.
Totally. Yeah.
And that's also the third question. Yeah, the third question that Shakti always spoke to was, how can we keep falling more deeply in love with ourselves? And it's a tender question, you know, it's a really tender question, because as women, we tend to love so much, we give so much, and we often forget about ourselves. And really the greatest gift that we can give the world, that we can be in the world right now, is the quality of our own being. And that really requires of us to fall deeply in love with ourselves, I feel. To fall in love with all of ourselves, you know, really accepting all, the darkness and the light, our shadow selves, and really, you know, coming to rest in love. Mm-hmm. So that's a beautiful opportunity as a really powerful group of women gathering to do this work. It feels like we can really support each other in this movement of falling deeply in love with ourselves, exactly as we are.
Completely. And again, that's a piece of conditioning that we tend to receive, is to do the opposite of that, to focus on perfectionism, to focus on getting it right, to especially focus on being pleasing. And so that automatically negates the self if we're needing to contort to be acceptable to other people due to our training and our conditioning. So in some respect, what I love about this course is that it's the start of deconditioning, because we're examining what we grew up with as training, and therefore what's limited us as women beings, female beings in the world, with the energies that we have and have access to, that we keep tapped down because it's scary, or it's been deemed wrong or inappropriate. So there's a lot of unlearning we'll be doing together.
Yeah, a lot of unlearning, a beautiful process that we can take together, of really looking at those parts of us that, you know, those false beliefs that no longer serve us, and those limiting beliefs that we just inherited, that are not serving us well as female beings in bodies on the planet right now, at a time when it feels, I'm sure you agree, Claire, that, you know, our world is really crying for people to wake up to the magnificence of who we really are. And it's really clear to me that women lead the way in this.
Yeah, and there's a huge opportunity for us to not only awaken in our own lives, but awaken in the collective, and move the collective not just forward, but upward into newer ways of being that are centered in love and inclusivity as much as possible. But it doesn't start outward. It really starts inward. That love has to start here with the self-love and the inclusion, like you said, the inclusion of all our parts, the shadow, the light, the happy, the sad, the angry, the creative. Yeah. So the course is a really beautiful experience and opportunity awaiting us. 7 weeks journeying together, peeling back these layers and looking at our answers to these questions. And and the beautiful thing is it's our first time offering this course since Shakti created it some years ago, and since Shakti left the planet. And so we're thrilled to get to bring it back with renewed vitality and perfect timing in this here and now. So
yeah,
with that,
looking forward to co-facilitating it with you and to the women who we're going to be journeying deeply with.
Indeed. Yep. We have some strong energies gathering, the container's already forming, and we have space and time for more to join us. And so with that, we would love to extend a warm invitation to you who are watching this video. If you feel called to this, not just this work, but this type of awakening and deconditioning, then we have a beautiful introductory course for you, Awakening Your Feminine Sexual Essence, that starts May 1st. All the info is connected in the link below. And we look forward to having you join us on the course. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rhianne.
Mm.